Welcome to the video lecture series on group theory. Myself Sudhakar. As you know, we are working problems related to infinite abelian group. So we shall continue that. In this lecture also we shall consider other types of problems related to infinite abelian group. So the first problem is, show that the set G, which is equal to set of all 2 cross 2 matrices of the form x, 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 where x is a real number and x not equal to 0, is a abelian group under matrix multiplication. First you observe that what is given in the problem. So we shall note the given set G, and what is the binary operation? It is nothing but matrix multiplication. So what is our aim? Our aim is to prove that G is a abelian group under matrix multiplication. Again, as you know, abelian group means we have to satisfy 5 laws, that is closure, associative, identity, inverse and commutative law. Now we shall prove this. First you write given the set G, which is equal to set of all 2 cross 2 matrices x, 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 where x belongs to R and x not equal to 0. So what are the elements of G? It must be 2 cross 2 matrices of this form, and I must be very careful regarding these two conditions. X must be real number and x is non-zero. For example, 2, 2, 2, 2. So all the elements must be same. Clearly this belongs to G. If I take 3, 3, 3, 4, this is not an element of G because I have 4 which is different from these 3. Similarly 1, 0, 0, 1. This is also not an element of G, and 0, 0, 0, 0. Clearly this is also not an element of G because x must be non-zero. Okay, what is our aim? Our aim is to prove that G is an abelian group under matrix multiplication. So to prove G is abelian group, we shall consider 3 elements from the given set. Let it be A is equal to x, 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 B is equal to matrix y, 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 and C is equal to matrix z, 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 z. What are x, y, z? X, y, z are real numbers, that is belongs to R, and x, y, z must be non-zero. Okay, now we shall consider closure law. Consider A into B. A is nothing but matrix x, 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 and B is nothing but matrix y, 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 y. Now you know how to multiply these two matrices. Okay, x into y plus x into y. Therefore you get xy plus xy, and same thing for other elements also. Therefore we get a matrix of the form like this, and xy plus xy is nothing but 2xy. Therefore we get matrix containing 2xy, 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 2xy. And when we can say it belongs to G, it must be of the form, that is all the elements must be same, and it should not be equal to 0. Since x not equal to 0, y not equal to 0, product of those two not equal to 0. Similarly 2xy not equal to 0. Therefore all the elements in this matrix are real numbers and they are not equal to 0, and they are same. Therefore clearly it belongs to G. Therefore we can say AB belongs to G for all A comma B belongs to G. Therefore closure law is satisfied. Next we shall move to associative law. Consider the left hand side of associative law, that is A of BC. Now replace ABC and simplify these two matrices first. So y into z, yz plus yz, you get 2yz. Therefore in the next step we shall write like this. Again multiply these two matrices. X into 2yz is 2xyz plus x into 2yz is 2xyz. Therefore 2xyz plus 2xyz we get 4xyz. Therefore we get a matrix of the form like this. Similarly, we shall consider the right hand side of associative law, that is AB of C. Again replace ABC. Simplify these two matrices first. Xy plus xy, you get 2xy. Therefore in the next step write like this. Again multiply these two matrices. 2xy into z, 2xyz plus 2xy into z, 2xyz, that is 4xyz. Therefore we get a matrix of the form like this. Now you can observe that these two matrices are same. Therefore we conclude that A of BC is equal to AB of C, and it is true for all ABC belongs to G. Next is identity law. We shall find identity element in G. So consider the matrix X, 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 X. What is the matrix we should multiply so that right hand side I should get same matrix, that is X, 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 X. So immediately we get the matrix 1, 0, 0, 1, that is the identity matrix. Clearly if you multiply any matrix with identity matrix against a matrix, but the question is whether this matrix belongs to G. This is not an element of G because the elements of G of the form like this all must be same, and X is not equal to 0. Therefore this doesn't belong to G. Therefore identity matrix we can't consider. Okay, let us check another way. Suppose if you write instead of 1, 0, 0, 1, if I take 1, 1, 1, 1, what happens? X into 1, X plus X into 1, X. So if you get X plus X, that is 2X. So 2 times of X, but I should get only X. So instead of writing 1, 1, 1, okay, let us make it 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Okay, X into 1 by 2, X by 2 plus X into 1 by 2, X by 2, X by 2 plus X by 2 is X. Similarly, X into 1 by 2 plus X into 1 by 2, again I get X. In case of matrices, you should check both ways. So 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 into X, 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 X. Again, let us check what we get. 1 by 2 into X plus 1 by 2 into X, that is X by 2 plus X by 2. I get 2X by 2, that is X. Similarly, remaining elements. Therefore, we can conclude that 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So have the same element and it is not equal to 0. Clearly it is a real number. Clearly you can say it belongs to G. Therefore this is the identity element. Therefore we shall represent that by E is equal to 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. We are not writing I because I denotes the identity matrix, that is 1, 0, 0, 1. Belongs to G is the identity element. Why we are saying this identity element? Because any matrix with this matrix I get same matrix, and this is true for all A belongs to G. Therefore we got the identity element. Therefore identity law is satisfied. Next is inverse law. We have to find the inverse matrix for this matrix, that is X, 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 X. Okay, what is the matrix I should multiply so that I get right hand side identity element, that is 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Now you can observe right hand side I don't have X. Therefore I should eliminate X. Therefore we shall write 1 by X, 1 by X, 1 by X, 1 by X. So what happens? X into 1 by X is 1 plus X into 1 by X is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. But I should get 1 by 2. Therefore we shall make this as 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x. Therefore let us check. X into 1 by 4x is 1 by 4 plus X into 1 by 4x is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 is 1 by 2. Similarly, remaining also I get 1 by 2. Again, if you interchange these two, again you can verify I get 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Therefore, 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x, this matrix is the inverse of this matrix. And again, we can verify this belongs to G. Since x is not equal to 0, 1 by 4x is also not equal to 0, and clearly it is a real number. Therefore, for every a is equal to xx belongs to G, there exists a inverse. What is a inverse? 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x. Clearly it belongs to G, such that a into a inverse is equal to a inverse into a is equal to the identity element, which is nothing but this matrix. Therefore, inverse law is satisfied. So the next one is commutative law. Consider AB, and we shall replace the matrices A and B. Now we shall multiply these two matrices. We know that what we get. We shall write that one. And again, you can observe that x and y are real numbers. Real number satisfies commutative law. Therefore, x into y is same as y into x. Therefore, in the next step, we shall write this as 2yx, 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 2yx. Again, we can split and write this matrices and this matrix into two matrices. That is yy into xx. Therefore, this is nothing but matrix B, and this is nothing but matrix A. Therefore, we get this is equal to BA. Therefore, we have proved AB is equal to BA, and it is true for all AB belongs to G. Therefore, we have verified all the phi laws. Therefore, we conclude that G is a abelian group under matrix multiplication. Now we shall consider another problem. Show that the set G, which is the set of all 2 cross 2 matrices of the form cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, where alpha is a real number, is an abelian group under matrix multiplication. Again, we shall observe carefully, and we shall write what is given. What is given? The set G, and the binary operation is matrix multiplication. And what is our aim? Our aim is to prove G is a abelian group under matrix multiplication. So you write the given set, and you can note that what are the elements of this set G. Alpha is a real number, and here I have cos alpha minus sin alpha, cos alpha. For example, we know that 2 is a real number. Cos 2 minus sin 2, cos 2. So this is an element in G. Similarly, if you write cos 1 by 2 minus sin 1 by 2, sin 1 by 2, cos 1 by 2. Clearly, this is also an element in G. And observe that here I have cos minus sin, cos, and alpha is same here. So here I have 2, 2, 2, 2. Similarly, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. And here I have minus the first row second element. I have minus sin alpha. Okay, now what is our aim? Our aim is to prove that G is a abelian group under matrix multiplication. Okay, we shall consider 3 elements in G. Let A is equal to matrix containing cos alpha minus sin alpha, cos alpha. Similarly, matrix B containing cos beta minus sin beta, cos beta. And C, matrix C is cos gamma minus sin gamma, cos gamma. So let it be 3 elements in G. What are alpha, beta, gamma? They are real numbers. Okay, now we shall verify closure law. Consider AB. Now you replace these two matrices A and B. Okay, now we have to multiply these two matrices row wise and column wise. So cos alpha into cos beta minus sin alpha into sin beta. So this is nothing but the formula cos A cos B minus sin A sin B, that can be written as cos of A plus B. Therefore, this can be written as cos of alpha plus beta. Next, first row second column. cos alpha into minus sin beta minus sin alpha into cos beta. Therefore, in both the terms I have minus sign. Therefore, take that minus outside. Therefore, we get minus of sin beta into cos alpha plus cos beta into sin alpha. So this is nothing but another formula, sin A cos B plus cos A sin B, that can be written as sin of A plus B. Therefore here we get minus of sin of alpha plus beta. Therefore we get cos of alpha plus beta minus sin of alpha plus beta, sin of alpha plus beta, cos of alpha plus beta. Since alpha beta are real numbers, alpha plus beta is also a real number. Clearly this matrix belongs to G. Therefore, AB belongs to G for all A comma B belongs to G. Therefore, we verified closure law. This associative law. Consider left hand side of associative law, that is A of BC. Write the matrices A, B and C. Now from closure law, we observe that if you multiply these two matrices, we can write directly, that is cos of beta plus gamma minus sin of beta plus gamma, sin of beta plus gamma, and the last one is cos of beta plus gamma. Therefore, we get like this. Again, multiply these two matrices. So we shall write directly, and this can be written as cos of alpha plus of beta plus gamma. Next element is minus sin of alpha plus of beta plus gamma, etc. Therefore, we get like this. Since alpha, beta, gamma are real numbers, they satisfy associative law. Therefore, alpha plus of beta plus gamma can be written as alpha plus beta plus gamma. Therefore, again we can split this into two matrices, that is cos of alpha plus beta minus sin of alpha plus beta, sin of alpha plus beta, cos of alpha plus beta, and this is cos gamma minus sin gamma, cos gamma. Again, you can split this into two matrices, that is cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, and cos beta minus sin beta cos beta, and this we shall write as it is, and this is nothing but matrix A and this is matrix B. Therefore, we get AB into C. Therefore, we have proved A of BC is equal to AB of C, and it is true for all ABC belongs to G. Therefore, associative law is satisfied. Next, we have the identity law. We shall find the identity element. For that, consider the matrix cos alpha minus sin alpha, cos alpha. What is the matrix to be multiplied so that I get same matrix, that is cos alpha minus sin alpha, cos alpha. Clearly, in this place we are going to write the identity matrix, that is 1 0 0 1. So this is matrix A and this is I, the identity matrix. So if you multiply identity matrix with any matrix, I get same matrix. Okay, no problem. But the question is whether it belongs to G. This matrix can be written as, you see in this place I have 1 can be written as cos 0 because cos 0 value is 1. Similarly, 0 can be written as minus sin 0 since sin 0 is 0. Again, this 0 can be written as sin 0 and 1 can be written as cos 0. So in place of alpha, I have 0, which is a real number. Therefore, clearly this belongs to G. Therefore, I can say the identity matrix is the identity element. Okay, we shall write I is equal to 1 0 0 1, that is the identity matrix, which can be written as cos 0 minus sin 0, cos 0 belongs to G, is the identity element. Because A into I is equal to I into A is equal to A. This is true for all A belongs to G. Therefore, we got the identity element. Therefore, identity law is satisfied. Next is inverse law. Again, since the identity element is the identity matrix, we have the formula for finding the inverse matrix, that is A inverse is equal to 1 over determinant A into adjoint A. So if you consider A as cos alpha minus sin alpha, and this is sin alpha cos alpha. So what is the determinant A? That is nothing but cos alpha into cos alpha, that is cos square alpha, minus of sin alpha into minus sin alpha, that is plus sin square alpha. So cos square alpha plus sin square alpha, that is 1. What is adjoint A? So we shall write that one. Therefore A inverse is equal to 1 by 1 and adjoint A is, so you should interchange principal diagonal elements. We get cos alpha as it is, and I should write opposite signs. Therefore this is sin alpha and this is minus sin alpha. Therefore this can be written as cos alpha can be written as cos of minus alpha, and sin alpha can be written as minus of sin of minus alpha. Similarly, minus of sin alpha can be written as sin of minus alpha, and again cos alpha can be written as cos of minus alpha, because cos of minus theta is plus cos theta, sin of minus theta is minus sin theta. Clearly you see, in place of alpha I have minus alpha. Since alpha is a real number, minus alpha is also a real number. Clearly this belongs to G. Therefore, what is the inverse of A? That is cos of minus alpha minus sin of minus alpha, sin of minus alpha, cos of minus alpha. Therefore we shall write, for every A is equal to cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, there exists A inverse, which is nothing but this matrix, such that A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to I. Therefore we got inverse for every matrix, therefore inverse law is satisfied. The commutative law, consider AB, replace the matrices A and B, and we know that what is the answer for this, that is the product of these two matrices, that is cos of alpha plus beta minus sin of alpha plus beta, sin of alpha plus beta, cos of alpha plus beta. Since alpha and beta are real numbers, alpha plus beta can be written as beta plus alpha. Therefore we get like this. Again we can split this into two matrices, that is cos beta minus sin beta cos beta into cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha. This is nothing but B and this is nothing but A. Therefore we get B into A. Therefore we have proved AB is equal to BA, and it is true for all. AB belongs to G. Therefore commutative law is satisfied. Since we have verified all the 5 laws, we shall conclude that G is a abelian group under matrix multiplication. Okay, I hope you understood the problems on matrices regarding infinite abelian group. So try to solve these problems.